like The Simpsons.
It's probably not good for me to like touch the camera like this, but anyway. Hello everyone. Geeks, welcome. This is Ian, and that's Sean, and we're doing a live stream for no good reason. There's no reason. We're just live streaming and talking about things.
Absolutely no earthly reason whatsoever.
Yes. So, quick update for everyone who's interested. Yeah, this I'm just titling this the October stream because I didn't really have a plan other than here's what we're working on, and Sean and I were gonna just chat about like random video game and movie stuff. The Honest series, there's going to be a crossover that's happening pretty soon. It's currently scheduled for the 28th. I've been working with another YouTuber by the name of Fiara the Tank Girl, and she is a longtime fan of Gaming Wildlife, and she and I are going to be doing a crossover where I post a video to her channel, she posts a video to my channel, and it's going to be two videos. One is called If YouTubers Were Completely Honest, which is me on her channel, and she's going to do If Streamers Were Completely Honest, which is her on Geeks Welcome. And then you can watch the two videos, and they're going to reference each other, and yada yada.
They are two videos in one.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be posted on the same day, and I'm editing both of them right now. Well, I'm not this very second, but I'm editing both of them this week and next week, and so I'm giving myself a lot of work.
Back to back two videos.
Yes. But the best part about it is that after those videos, do you know what I finally have, Sean?
We have the script for Wizards of the Coast.
WotC. Yes, I've been working on that. So, obviously, the WotC script got delayed because of the illness in my family. My mother, specifically. But I have been, like, observing and watching WotC for a while, and holy crap, are they just, like... Everything they do just seems... It seems like it's just a bad idea. Nothing but bad ideas over and over and over again. I don't know how, like... I don't know if it's indicative of capitalism in general, or if they're actually just a bad company. Like, what's...
Imagine a company purposefully trying to tank their own brand. Then imagine somebody screwing that up. But not in a good way.
Professor Bond says, careful with that, we don't need the Pinkertons to show up on your doorstep. I mean, that's... Like, how do you... That happened literally earlier this year, and yet that will forever be the joke. That somehow someone was just like, oh, look, I got some magic cards. Let me do a video and showcase them. And then Wizards of the Coast sends the Pinkertons to his door because he showed off a magic set a month before it was supposed to be released.
Like,
and it's...
Just gonna be real 100%. I didn't even know the Pinkertons still existed.
I didn't know the Pinkertons existed.
Like, I know of them from history class. That's like... I was like, wait, the Pinkertons are still around?
Yes.
Let alone raiding people's houses? I was like, did they, like, literally dredge up the ghost of, like, Civil War past and, like, just have somebody raid somebody's house? Like some Confederate ghost just raiding. That was my thought when I first read that. It's like the Pinkertons raid somebody's house. Like Confederate ghosts just raiding somebody's house.
I mean, yeah.
I do declare, you shall not have any magic cards this day. No, sorry.
Yeah. Professor Bond says was it a month? I mean, it was a couple of weeks. So it was like, from what I remember, because the way that Wizards of the Coast does Magic releases, they will like promote Magic product a few weeks in advance. They'll be like, here's the new cards. And then they will have Loading Ready Run do their pre-release, where we're going to play with the entire set the week before it's officially released, and then it's released a week later. So this particular set, I thought it was a month, where it was like some guy. The story goes that we know of, and literally anyone could be lying about this, but the story as it goes, some guy got a hold of product that may have been stolen from a warehouse. He got it, and he's like, oh, look, new magic set. Let me do a video where I open up the cards and show people what's on the cards. And they were not entirely sure. Were they stolen? Were they not stolen? It doesn't matter. What matters is that Wizards of the Coast sent the Pinkertons to his house to not to confiscate the cards, which is weird because if they wanted to figure out who, if these had actually been stolen, they wanted to figure out who stole them, you know what they would confiscate? The packaging. They would confiscate the packaging because there's serial codes on there, and you can scan it and track it where it came from. But they took the cards as well and threatened his family.
Yeah, we're gonna take the cards. And that's the thing that gets me. I'm like, why are you gonna threaten this dude's family?
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna? You're not even the law. You have no authority.
Wizards of the Coast, it's so bizarre, and we talk about this in the script for the episode, but Hasbro are the owners of Wizards of the Coast. They bought Wizards of the Coast, I want to say, like 20 some odd years ago, and they've just let WotC do their own thing. They've just kind of let Wizards of the Coast be like, make magic, people buy magic, and that's cool, and what have you. Also, hi Casey, good to see you.
Hey.
But yeah, they sort of let them do magic for a while, and then around 2017, which is around the time that Toys R Us went bankrupt, and apparently Hasbro had spent a lot of money on Transformers, My Little Pony, and trying to compete with a bunch of board games. They were losing money significantly. So supposedly they then just started milking all the products that was making money, because Magic has been a pretty consistent moneymaker for basically about 20 years. And so then they were like, okay, we're just going to push as much as we can onto Magic. So what used to be 4 sets a year, a supplemental product, and then a reprint set was usually what you would see for Magic. Now you were getting like 3 booster packs with every set, a new commander set with every set, a new, they were selling cards directly through what are called secret layers, and that's complicated. And then they were also upping the amount of sets so that it was multiple draft sets a year, in addition to the standard sets, in addition to other things. And they completely pushed the power level of new cards, because new cards, like the early game of Magic, cards are super broken, because they were just starting to figure out the game, and so then the power level of cards kind of like balanced out after a while. But then after 2017, they just started pushing the power level up, so that you would have to buy new cards if you wanted to play the older formats of cards, because there are formats, like Magic's broken into sub-games. So it's like Legacy is every card that's ever been printed. Modern is every card since 2002, that sort of thing. And they just pushed, let's get people to spend as much money on this card game, as opposed to some people would just buy some cards, have some cards, and then just play the game every so often. So now you have to keep constantly buying to keep up with stuff. And yeah, Hasbro just pushed WotC as far as they could go, and we're finally seeing the Trust Thermocule fall off. And people are, like, within the last year, there have been so many long-term players who have sold their entire Magic set. They're just like, I'm out, I'm done. And it's...
Yeah. It's a trend that seems to be not just solely with Magic or with WotC. Even. Like it's a trend that's it's so. What was it? What we were talking about this earlier, like last week or something. Like all the CEOs bailing on the companies now.
Yeah, that was we were talking
It's
about
like Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan of
Jim Ryan bailed,
Sony,
and then
John
there was some other
Riccatello of Unity.
Unity, and then well, he's not necessarily bailing. He's just I don't know if he's bailing. I don't know if
Activision.
I could consider. Yeah, Bobby Kotick.
Bobby
That's what I'm
Kotick of
talking
Activision. So yeah,
I don't know if he's bailing so much as he's just being kind of pushed out because the company just got bought out. But
right. But I
same
mean,
difference.
yeah. The problem is that the CEOs are leaving, but they're leaving with a massive like amount of money to their name
Like,
because
let
they
me
just
leave. Let me leave after I steered the ship directly into the iceberg.
yes. That's
Now that
exactly
the
what
ship's
they,
hit the iceberg, let me jump off with my golden parachute into my golden lifeboat. That's also a speedboat that also transforms into a robot / rocket ship and blasts off into space with Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
This is an ongoing problem with a lot of companies in that like post pandemic some companies are having difficulty like coming back like if I'm remembering correctly the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 were released right around the time the pandemic started.
Yeah,
And
they were
so
both actually in the middle of the pandemic.
yeah.
They were both released in 2020.
So yeah, no one could get a hold of any new consoles because nobody like no one had the resources to do it. And so yeah,
You had to be uber clever, uber smart. And you had to be super. You had to be super on it if you wanted to get a console back in 2020.
yeah,
Man, those things went fast.
Professor Bond's making a good point about the whole WotC thing. It's similar to what Marvel did in the '90s. Yes, this is a literal like one-to-one recreation of we're just going to push as much new stuff as possible, and then everything just kind of falls off at that point. Because if y'all are remembering your history correctly, Marvel went bankrupt in the 90s. They literally had to file Chapter 11 and sell off a ton of their superheroes to third companies to stop themselves from going under completely. Like
We're only just now getting back.
yeah, only recently have they been able to come back, and the only reason they were able to is because Disney bought them out. And although Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro's a huge company, WotC is yeah, they're really digging themselves into a massive hole.
Well, they basically just milked the cow for all it was worth, and now that the cow is dead,
And
they're jumping ship.
that now that the cow is dead, they're bleeding it and trying to sell the blood as milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah, that's literally what's going on. And
Why is it red? Don't worry about it.
yeah, it's red milk. It's strawberry with a heavy iron flavor.
Why is that cow over there like crying? Don't worry about it.
Disney, we are the devil of companies. Yeah, Disney is. Casey had said, "I have an idea for
Disney's
an
not
honest."
the devil of companies. That's insulting to the devil. They're much worse than the devil.
Yeah, Casey says, I've been seeing stores selling PS5 for $700 with the purchase of an extra controller and two $60 games with tax. So that's over $1,000 for a PS5.
Excuse me. Wait, so they're selling the PS5 itself for $700.
Yes.
And then adding in two $60 games. And an extra controller.
Yeah, I literally I did a whole
another $70.
I did a whole short YouTube short about this. About I would love to be able to play Starfield. I would love to be able to play Spider-Man 2. I don't have a PS5 because that's $700 or $800 that I'd have to spend. before buying the game, which is another 70. And Starfield, sure, I like Bethesda games. I have Skyrim, I've played Fallout, but that's $70 that I don't have that kind of money to just be like, I'll throw $70 at this. I don't.
Here's the thing. I thought they just dropped the price on the, or not dropped the price, but I thought, well, no, yeah, I thought they dropped the price on the PlayStation, but apparently not. I know they put out a new one, a new PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah,
they did that.
Casey said that they were able to get their PS5 used for $450. That's still $450. Because here's the thing, I've got a PC that can play most games just fine, but I've got an Xbox Series X because it was given to me and my wife as a wedding gift. Because when we got married, my friend Alex was just like, I got you guys an Xbox. And it's like, oh, cool. Because why not? That's great.
Free Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, it was a wedding gift. But yeah, most of the... I was actually writing this down. Most of the consoles that I've had throughout my life have either been very specific purchases, under certain circumstances, or someone has given me a console as a gift. My first two Nintendo consoles were literally given to me as gifts, and that was the only reason that I was able to play NES and N64, is because either they were birthday gifts or a friend of my parents was just like, I got this, my kid doesn't want it, does Ian want it? So, gaming is... And not only that, I said this as well, I'm playing Cyberpunk right now because I got it on sale and my wife got me a gift card. So I didn't pay for it. I purchased it legally, but I didn't pay for it. Someone else gave me a gift card and I got it on sale, so I'm able to play a 4-year-old game for the first time. Because yeah.
In all fairness, it's a new game.
Yeah, in all fair,
it just actually released.
And I will say this: during the opening cutscene, when you're seeing the montage before the 6 months later skip happens, there were several points in which I was looking at a blank screen, and then all of a sudden we pop in, and all the characters are just.
Yeah, you might need to update drivers on that one.
And I'm like, okay.
Because, man, that sounds like original Cyberpunk.
I might need to do an update on that. But yeah, it was...
Because, dude, when I remember booting up the game back in 2020 for the first time, and good God, man. That game crashed, I swear, if I was playing the game, if I spent, say, 5-6 hours playing the game on, a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
That game would have crashed at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it seems like that.
And it got to the point where it was just like, okay, you know what? If you crash one more goddamn time, they crash. I'm done.
I'm out. But yeah, Sarge, I do like Cyberpunk so far. For me personally, maybe it's just my opinion, but I don't really like sandbox games that are just in a normal city. So, Grand Theft Auto has never really appealed to me. I've played a few, but I don't stick with them for very long, because I like freedom of movement in sandbox games. So, Breath of the Wild, you can literally, climb to the highest thing, jump off, and you got a hang glider. Or the Pokemon games, you actually have a ride Pokemon that can climb walls and leap up into the sky and stuff. Just Cause 2, you've got the hook shot that can literally hook shot onto any surface, including the ground, and pull you towards it. It's I like games where there's a movement, there's a freedom of movement beyond just get in a fast vehicle. I assume, I haven't gotten there yet, but I assume Cyberpunk has some kind of flying mechanic at some point.
No.
No. Well, that'll be interesting then.
I think most of all the transportation is driving.
I mean, like I said, that's a very personal reason. I like to be able to go into a sandbox where I can just be like, look at that building. I'm gonna climb up that building. How are you gonna climb up that building? Like this, hookshot. I kind of like being able to just fly around and stuff. Maybe that's just me.
I think it's like for Cyberpunk is just it's a whole vibe, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's the narrative in this game is just very much like it's too real, man.
Mm-hmm. I've
Look, it's too much. It's like, yo, this is where we're headed if we don't, you know, put these corporations in check.
I know, God, yeah. Like, a lot of people, and ironically, because we're on YouTube right now, a lot of people are mad at YouTube because of the whole, they've gotten draconian with their ads. Like, a lot of people...
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of people use...
Oh, that's right, the ad blocker thing.
Yes. A lot of people use ad block. YouTube is doing an ad blocker. So then people figure out how to do an ad blocker. To which YouTube is doing an ad blocker. I just turned into a chicken.
We're ad block. Now we ad blocker. Now we ad blocker.
But yeah,
then ad blocker.
And here's the thing: as someone who has done YouTube since like forever, I've literally been on this site since like 2005. Like about a year into YouTube, I started like watching YouTube videos, and I got a YouTube account and all that. I don't care if you use an ad blocker. Obviously, if you would like to turn your ad blocker off to help support our channel, great. But YouTube ad revenue has always been small. It has, like, I literally did research into this. We could make 10 times the amount of money if we made the videos as is on Pornhub. We would actually make more money.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, like YouTube AdSense isn't much. Obviously, if you like buy,
you guys want to see some nips? Let's go.
But yeah, so yes, we also, and as Reckless Sarge says, do you know we have a Patreon? But yeah, if you guys need to use ad block, I completely understand. I'm not gonna be mad about that, because I myself have a long time ago almost lost my hard drive to ransomware that I got from an ad on YouTube. And ever since then, I've had various different ad blockers, because ransomware can just get you. And you don't notice it, that you're on a website and some random ad downloads a Trojan onto your computer that you don't notice, because we don't run like antivirus software every day. Some of us don't even run it every like month, and you just won't notice. And it's
I probably should run my antivirus at some point.
Yeah, but yeah, in general, you need to do what you can. And plus, I've seen like there'll be ads on YouTube for latest video game thing, or Raycon and whatnot. There'll be ads for those kind of things. There'll also be ads for like violent video games on kids' videos. And also, did you know that fleshlights do ads?
No.
On YouTube?
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I knew they do ads on porno.
On YouTube. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I'm why? Why would you do this?
I'm not even, like, why is obvious. But my thing is, how? How do you manage to do an ad for a flashlight on YouTube?
I mean...
What do they, like, do they have, like, a carrot? They just shove the carrot in there.
Here's the I mean, they can't actually show the direct thing, but they will say the name. They will show the product with the seal on it because they can't take off the seal because otherwise it would get blurred. But
Ooh.
but yeah, there
Look at this thing. You can't see what's inside. YouTube doesn't want you to see what's inside of here.
it's all implied.
Actually that might actually be a convincing ad campaign. To be completely honest, no.
Yeah. But, like, it's not just YouTube, though. Like, Google in general has had problems with this. There are people who are, like, speaking of which, I'm running this software. I'm running this live stream off of Open Broadcaster, OBS, which is a perfectly fine software to use to do live streams. Did you know, several years ago, a company basically replicated OBS's website, bought a bunch of ads on Google, and they got to the front page of Google, of Google's Google, and a lot of people went onto OBS's website to update their software and got a bunch of malware downloaded onto their computer because this website duplicated OBS's website, bought a bunch of Google ads, and got to the top of the search bar and installed a bunch of malware and stole people's information. Because Google, protects against some stuff like that, but if you're smart enough, you can get past their filter. This is why people use AdBlock.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we're legit.
Yeah,
we're actually OBS.
and,
Don't look into it.
So, despite the fact that YouTube wouldn't be happy about it, if you use AdBlock, I don't care, because I know that without AdBlock, I mean, AdBlock is literally a condom. That's what it is. It is
without AdBlock, you get served ads for Ukrainian mail order brides, like Scourge.
Oh dear, did he say that? I've had them serve an ad for Ukrainian real. Wow, I'm not surprised. I'm honestly not surprised. But yeah, no, AdBlock is like a condom. You should probably use it. In fact, quote me on that. AdBlock is like a condom. You should probably use it.
Protect yourself.
I wouldn't be surprised
at
if
all
YouTube.
Times.
I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube demonetizes this live stream.
Like AdBlock, is like engaging with YouTube's ads is like engaging in an MMA fight. Protect yourself at all times.
What is the pricing for this Fleshlight product? I'm asking for a friend, not me. I don't know. $200. Hell if I know.
They're like, if I recall correctly, they're fairly expensive.
I'll bet. I'll bet they are. I'll bet it's not.
I remember being in a store, and I saw one on there, and it was like, I want to say it was at least like close to $200.
I'm not surprised. That probably makes sense. And also, in Amnesia, I'm probably mispronouncing your name, and I do apologize. But AdBlocks are like a condom. You should probably use them. Is the best quote I've heard this month. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. But yeah, it's like
wow, they're cheaper now.
Oh, he's actually looking them up. Oh, okay.
They're like $69. Nice.
You see, that makes sense. That makes sense from a marketing standpoint. Like, of course you would do that. Of course you would do that.
Fantastic. That's just brilliant. Now, see, that's a company who knows their audience. That's a company who does right by their audience, unlike the companies we've been talking about today.
Yeah.
Why is it that only the porn companies are doing right by their audience?
Because like what they're selling, they understand what they know what they're doing.
Every company's out to screw you, except the company about screwing.
Do they have a premium Apple style for $420? I'm going on Amazon right now. Like
you mean like the eye flashlight?
Oh dear. Oh dear. You don't want Apple knowing that.
Dude,
oh yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna just be real. If they actually made that, I'd probably buy one. Just like if it hooked up to your iPhone and did stuff. That's cool. I'd just buy one just to have one. I'd set it up on like my mantle. Be like, yo,
Nah.
check this out. Look what it does.
No, but Mr. Scully's making a point. There's probably an ad on YouTube that directs you to a porn website. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Of course there is.
They would probably get around. They wouldn't say it directly. They would probably be like, "This is a website to find people." I mean, no. I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one ad because I don't have ads on mobile, and I'll listen to like podcasts and stuff while I'm at my other job. You know what ad pops up a ton on YouTube? Bumble. And I had no idea what. Yeah, I don't know what that was, and so I was just like, "What is this ad that I keep getting for?" And I looked it up, and it's like, "That's a dating site." Hi, YouTube. You see this? I want you to look at that right there.
They don't know you're married happily. They know you're married. Of course they know. They know everything.
How do people get those ads on YouTube? I mean, literally, I haven't the slightest clue. I've like, it popped up one day, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? Why are you what?
Well, I mean, so okay. So I've actually done a lot of research about the algorithm, trying to find out some stuff because I got into an argument with somebody about Andrew Tate. So I was doing some argument. So I was doing some research about. No, it's not like they were like a fan of Andrew Tate or anything.
Okay.
I'm not either. So they had a difference. I'll get into that in a second. But basically, the algorithm. What I found out is it doesn't serve you content. I swear, the dog was doing something. It doesn't serve you content based on like trying to get you into things. It only serves you content based on what you've actually already expressed interest in.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to have clicked on something in some kind, and it also pulls from your Google.
Mm-hmm.
So your Google searches are fair game.
So does that mean that I'm going to get a bunch of ads for words that I misspelled? Because that's all, like, that and magic cards are the only things that I really, like, search for. So they'll be like, yes, you wanted to learn how to, and here's an ad for verisimilitude. It's like, what?
So what ends up happening is, in the absence of any ads related to what you actually search for, they're just going to throw everything at you until something sticks. This is what I've learned. So, if you were to basically log on to a YouTube page, like without your actual profile on there, right? So like you're not signed into Google or anything, because I've done this at work. So you're not signed into Google or anything. It's just a blank profile. It's just gonna throw everything at you. Like literally, the front page of YouTube is basically just if you don't have your profile on there, it's completely random.
I remember one time I got an ad at the top of YouTube that completely flabbergasted me. It was an ad for the Church of Scientology recruiting people on the front page, like top banner ad, Scientology, join today, and I'm like, you what?
Yeah.
What?
So
why?
That was yeah, because it's just completely random. It's like we don't know what you are, so it's like we're gonna throw everything at you until we figure something out. And it's just like they don't throw regular stuff at you. See, they've got to go to the extremes of every spectrum to figure out what most interests you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like, are you a normal person? It's just like, are you hella woke or are you hella racist?
God.
So it's like, I'm gonna throw super left wing stuff at you and super right wing stuff at you, and after like we figure out which one you more lean to, then we'll start to narrow it in.
What sucks, like, and this is interesting. Professor Bond brings this up. Like, he looks up Pokemon TTRPG and random science trivia, and he still gets a lot of those like kind of ads, and it makes like it sucks that stuff like that happens because, like, I'll look up Pokemon videos. I like to watch Pokemon videos. I'll look up, like, what I'm watching right now is a British show called Taskmaster, which is basically just a bunch of comedians doing funny little, like, tasks, and then they make jokes about it. Um, and
Familiar. I watch.
yeah, and the weird thing is that like those don't like those have a lot of people on the left who like those things, but also a lot of people on the right, and it feels like which direction will the ads take you? Will I watch like this one live streamer do a run of Pokemon where he only does one Rattata? It's like, oh, that was interesting, and then you'll get an ad for like some super right wing political thing, and it's like, why would you do this?
Like, I'm Donald Trump and I'm selling NFTs now for some reason.
God, why do companies
well
still...
after well after NFTs clearly fallen off a cliff?
Yeah, and he's like, did you hear Scott Cawthon made a FNAF movie?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Starring that one dude. Oh God, what's his name? Oh God, that one actor that's in stuff that I know his name.
Yeah. So apparently Markiplier was originally approached to do the FNAF movie, and he was going to be in it, except that he was making a movie himself at the time, and the two schedules just clashed, and it's like, uh-oh. And I know a lot about the film industry. That happens. That happens all the time. Like, literally, where person A is like, I would like to do movie. Studio is like, we would love for you to do movie. How about this weekend? And person A is like, I'm already doing another project that weekend.
Doing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
well.
literally, Markiplier was doing a feature film that he is starring and directing in of a different horror IP. And so it just didn't line up. And
You don't want to be in our movie then, Markiplier? Fine.
Well-
We'll get PETA from Hunger Games.
that's it. It was PETA. That's who it was. The actor who played PETA. But yeah, no, and he wasn't even going to have a big role, but it's just like that happens so much because movies have to be on a schedule that they were like, we are filming in this block of time. Can you make it to this block of time? And sometimes actors have to be like, I can't. And that's
Schedule conflict.
it just happens. It does. It just happens, and that's fine. There's nothing. It sucks that Mark's not going to be in the FNAF movie, but that happens all the time with films. You just gotta say that sucks and move on.
And then sometimes you turn down movie roles because you're pretending to be married to Jada Pinkett Smith, even though you broke up in 2016.
I hate to bring up an old meme, but I'm gonna bring up an old meme. Leave the Smiths alone. Leave Will and Jada alone.
I can't. That's not even Will and Jada anymore, and apparently it hasn't been since 2016. You keep that a secret. We've been broken up since 2016, but we've been pretending to be together the whole time.
Speaking of Scientologists, did we go too far? No, but yeah, here's the thing. Like I said, I know certain like insider Hollywood information. I know a lot of people who are in the film industry and stuff. I thought it was a pretty well-known thing that Will and Jada had an open relationship. I thought that was pretty common knowledge. And then everyone was just like, Jada's cheating on Will, and I'm like, no? What? No? I didn't realize that the whole, like, them breaking up, like, I'm just like, why is this such a big deal? Just let the two people do their thing. Like, literally, Will Smith got so angry at Chris Rock that he slapped him, and that nobody remembers that Will Smith won an Oscar that day. But no one cared. No one cared that Will Smith won an Oscar.
Well, see, my thing is, like, this, like, changes the whole context for that event now.
I know.
Because it's like, you slapped Chris Rock over a joke he made about a woman that's not even your wife. And then cursed on the Oscars about it. It's like, keep my fake wife's name.
out of your mouth. It's like you.
And it's like, why? Now, see, but now, like, the whole context of the event, because, see, before, like, Chris Rock tells, so the sequence of event goes, Chris Rock tells the joke, everyone laughs, including Will Smith, then he turns and looks at Jada, and she's not laughing, then he goes and slaps him. And it's just like, dude, that makes so much more sense now, because it's like, you were laughing because it's not your wife.
And then he has to save face. It's just,
And then he's like, oh, wait, we're pretending to be married. My bad.
This is this is why I feel like there are many reasons why, but this is also why I never really wanted to go into the like Hollywood side of things or the LA side of things to make movies, because it feels like you're performing 24/7. Like literally he had to be performing that they were still together because Hollywood like needed them to be like a power couple or something. And so now it's coming out that, oh no, they're actually separated. And it's just like, I swear to God.
But did we know? Did we really need them to be together?
I don't know. And again, it's the Scientology thing. Maybe they couldn't figure out a way to get away from the Scientologists. Like, it's...
I mean, but they got out of there.
Did they?
Like years ago.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was a big deal. Because there was like a lawsuit about it. They sued the Church of Scientology.
Oh wow.
Trying to get all the money that they put in there back.
Yeah, if you're gonna put money into a religion, that money's gone. Consider it like gambling.
I don't recall if they got any of the money back, but I remember there was like a big lawsuit about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like Leah Remini was like all over it. Because, you know, she's like famously like used to be in Scientology, and then she like got out, and she's been like going in on the Church of Scientology ever since.
This shows just how like ADHD we both are. That we start with YouTube, go to video games, then go to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, or I guess it's Jada Pinkett now, and talk and like this is the train of thought that we have gone. We are now going in a different direction.
Jada Pinkett Smith, Jada Pinkett Shakur, because that was what everybody was saying. She was in love with Tupac.
Oh, I mean that would have been a while ago. Would that have been before she and Will got together?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he died, of course.
Of course.
Or did he?
I love how we both like took a moment there. It's like, of course, and then we both kind of like paused for a second.
He wrote the song a long time ago.
I wrote the song in '94.
You don't know that reference? It's a Dave Chappelle reference.
That's an old.
Look it up. Look it up. That was back when Dave Chappelle was cool.
Oh yeah. Back before Dave Chappelle started doing trans jokes, and all of a sudden he's not cool anymore.
He lost his goddamn mind.
I swear. Like, the past several years have just been, like, it's incredible. It really is. But not in a positive way. It's incredible to see so many big, like rock stars and film stars and TV stars and, like, public figures just go in weird directions about transgender people. It's like there are these people who were born this way but then want to live their lives some other way, and and everyone is just like, how does this affect you, random rock star guy who hasn't been relevant since the 1980s, you know? Maybe that's it. Maybe they're like trying to get their relevance.
Like, it affects me because I'm relevant when I talk about it.
Yeah, it's using the old adage of there's no such thing as bad publicity. And so it's like, here's this random guy from a rock band in the 80s going, you know, they're weird, and it's just like, really, dude, why did you... I remember people got mad at, of all people, the guy who played Chakotay on Star Trek Voyager, because he said something like anti-trans, and it's just like, the most random people are just like trying to give their 2 cents.
Chakotay? No! Like Chakotay?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Right?
Bruh!
Oh,
What happened, man?
also, did you
But it's
hear?
like, yeah. Well, yeah,
He
here
says,
what?
"Did you hear about EDP?" Oh,
What about who? Edie who? What
he's
Edie? What?
okay. He is a YouTuber who he was. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe he shouldn't eat that. And then, what do you think P stands for?
Penis.
The other one.
Ah. Okay.
Yes, and so apparently he was. I think he was charged with pedophilia. Is what happened.
Wow. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, oh god, there's so much stuff. People like YouTube keeps trying to recommend me SS Sniper Wolf, who that's the last I'm going to say about it. I don't know who this person is, but apparently they doxed someone accidentally, but maybe it was on purpose, but maybe
Nah,
it was
it wasn't
accidental.
that.
I don't
No,
know.
it wasn't. No. Okay. So this, I love this because it's just so stupid.
Okay, okay. Let fill me in. What's
So
going on?
so she definitely doxed this dude
Okay.
because she's like talking to her fan. She's like, "Oh, he lives like 5 minutes away from my house. Should I roll up to his house?" And like, I guess like because there's beef going on between them. I won't get into what like any of that, but she goes over to his house and then she like basically shoots a live video outside of his house. And it's like, and then she like sends a message like something along the lines of, "I just want to talk to you. Why won't you come out or whatever?"
Oh my
So
god.
then he obviously goes to YouTube. And he like goes on YouTube and he's like, "Yo, this chick just doxed me. What's YouTube gonna do about it?" And then she shoots back, How could I possibly dox you? I don't even know what doxing is."
Uh,
Which is
oh boy.
which the reason why I think it's so funny is because I genuinely believe that she doesn't know what doxing is because she's just that dumb.
I don't. I don't know who this person is. I've never watched their channel. I don't like. I
I
vaguely.
never watched her either,
Yeah,
but she just strikes me as somebody who's literally that dumb that she would use that as an excuse.
I
Like, how could I have
vaguely.
done something that I don't know what it is?
I vaguely remember whenever, like, because sometimes I'll, like, log out of my YouTube channels and just, like, I can't remember why, but I'll be, like, on the front page and YouTube is just logged out. And occasionally I'll see one of SS Sniper Wolf's videos on there and I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know why. Because I'll, like, no, that's what it is. Because sometimes I have to clear the, like, cache and the memory on my, web browsers for various reasons. And usually when I do that, I'll have to go to YouTube and re-sign into all my stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, here's the front page of YouTube," and you'll see, various different sports stuff, and then these promoted videos, and then SS Sniper Wolf. That's always like one of the first videos. They'll be like, "Hey, you're new to YouTube. You should watch this person," and I'm like, I don't know who that is. Do they play
Yeah,
games? Are
yeah. She's
they
like she used to play games
okay?
from what I've been told. She's like super like she makes them a lot of money essentially.
Yeah,
That's the issue.
Professor
Yeah,
Bonds.
don't
when
yeah,
Geeks
don't, you don't
Welcome
have to worry about that.
Yeah. When Geeks Welcome becomes famous, please don't let the fame get to your heads like others have.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear, is that I get so, like, big-headed that I'm just going to let it go.
Nah.
I really, really, really hope that never happens, because it's happened to so many
Yeah.
people. Like, it's happened to Boogie, it's happened to EDP, it's happened to like people like Ray William Johnson. It happened to the Fine Bros. There's so many people who just let the YouTube fame just kind of like completely destroy their, not only destroy their brand, but just kind of like turn them into these weird people. I like doing stuff on YouTube because I like, for me personally, I have found that about the 5 to 10 minute video range is about where my best outlet for creativity is. About, I'm going to write down a script. It's going to be about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to edit it and put it on here. For me personally, that's my best range for creativity, and YouTube's just the best place to do that. TikTok is too short, and with live streaming, as some of you may have noticed, it's hard for me to maintain energy for that long period of time. To do like 5 hours a day, constantly talking and stuff. It's just.
It's very hard.
Jim just got
So,
on. Hi, Jim. Do you
oh,
want to
that's
join?
Jim.
Yeah. TNG fan is Jim.
Oh yeah. Okay, there. I didn't. See, I had to scroll down.
But yeah,
TNG
and
fan
so
raid.
like
Yeah,
I
Jim. Some chick named Sniper Wolf is doxing some guy named Jax Films. So that's it.
Jax Films. What
Yeah.
Jax Films? What did Jax Films do?
He basically he's been making videos specifically about Sniper Wolf
Uh oh. Uh
and
oh.
how her channel is crap.
Uh oh. You don't do that. Literally, like I'm.
Well, to be fair, he's doing it in a very classy way. Because basically, if I understand correctly, what she does is she's basically makes reaction videos.
Okay.
So basically, she just takes a bunch of other YouTubers' contents and reacts to it, and she doesn't give them any credit for it. So he's been going in through all of her videos and basically reacting to her reactions, whilst simultaneously giving credit to all the people whose videos she's been using.
I remember Jax used to get really angry about that. There was this one guy, I only ever saw one video, but Jax basically, some guy reacted to Jax Films like, your comments suck 100 or something, like one of those videos. And this guy just watched the whole video with very little commentary, so then Jack watched him watching
Yeah.
that video with no commentary. Jack just the whole time, he's just like, just watching the video. And
when I was watching whatever, I think it was Philip DeFranco who I was watching about it. He actually showed like the kind of progression. Like this is what Jax used to do, and he's like, and now he's doing that to this YouTuber who's basically decided to take it upon themselves to steal other people's content and react.
But yeah, Professor Bond, I am going to actively try to humble myself as much as possible, because like that's the one thing I'll notice with a lot of other content creators is that they get it into their head that they're, for lack of a better term, a big deal. Like I've seen content creators who will go out and be like, "Hi, it's me," and it's just like that's not what you do. You shouldn't do that. And obviously, some people it'll get tons of views if you do that. But I'm some guy. I'm some mid-30s dude who went to film school and found that there wasn't really a future for him in film, but there was a future possibly on like YouTube and other streaming sites, and so this is what I do. I'm not on the same level as Will Smith or like Jennifer Lawrence, or pick a random like famous celebrity. I'm not even on the level of say like other content creators who are known universally. I'm some guy. That's just who I am, and I don't want to. I hope I never, ever, ever lose that mindset of I'm just a dude, just some guy who's here to entertain you. I will post goofy little comedy sketches, and I hope people enjoy them. Like that's. I want to do my hardest to maintain that level of like not letting this go to my head. You know, I really hope.
Yeah, don't worry. If he ever gets too famous and he gets big head, then we'll just make up a video about him saying some racist stuff or something.
Oh God, no.
We'll just knock him right back down.
Oh God, I'm gonna get canceled.
We'll make something up. we'll get him canceled, and then we'll bring him right back down. Don't worry about it.
Oh dear.
We'll both. Don't worry, I'll go down with the ship too. We'll both get canceled.
No, don't do that. Because that could be bad for like your regular day job. Like that's one of the reasons why like my wife has said before, she's like she doesn't really want to do YouTube stuff because her regular day job, like she doesn't want doing goofy videos and stuff to make her regular day to like cause her to lose her regular day job. And it's like that's perfectly fine. I understand that. I don't want to put anyone in danger of losing a job over a goofy comedy sketch where we say something. Like that's not what I want to happen. I just want to do goofy comedy sketches because I like doing that.
Exactly. You don't want to end up on the news being like, today, 2 YouTubers were canceled
like
for performing.
We don't even want to say what it could be. It's
on a rock with
On a rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Swimming with swimming noodles and,
Turns out we
and a
found.
frying pan.
Turns out we found Dwayne the Rock Johnson. We just ran at him with pool noodles, just thwack, 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 thwack. Why would we do
What
that?
did they do to Dwayne the Rock Johnson with those pool noodles in that frying pan? You don't want to know what they did with the frying pan
Oh god.
or the pool noodles.
Dinscourge says all you'd have to do is something like say Starfield isn't that good. Oh crap! I just said it. No, I haven't played Starfield. I don't know.
Starfield isn't that good.
I haven't played it yet, nor do I have the money to purchase it, and I'm not gonna R it either.
If I had a way of blending it to you, I would, because to be completely honest with you, I'm not like, okay, it's, and now we're doing ADHD thing again.
Oh god.
Anyway, like this game is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like there could be a good game there, but then it's just like nothing. Like
it's Skyrim in space.
I don't even know if I would go that far. Skyrim was more entertaining, I feel like.
If ADHD,
It's just like it's like fast. It's, you know what Starfield is? It's fast travel the game. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, no, but the problem that's the problem with space though, right? Because otherwise you're just going to be traveling through space for like hours and hours on end. That's one of the problems with No Man's Sky, is that unless you're traveling at like the fastest speed, you're going to be flying through the solar system for hours and hours doing practically nothing.
And it's just like, okay, so it's like we have planets. Okay, cool. What do we do on the planets? Nothing. It's like, okay, we have space. Okay, what do we do what do we do in space? Also nothing.
Well, you can build a ship.
You can build a ship that you can fly in space. Okay, what can you do in space? Not much. So what's the point of the ship? So like I spent all these hours, like I showed you the ship I built in Starfield.
Yeah.
Like I spent all these hours. I literally spent a whole bunch of hours recreating the Millennium Falcon in Starfield, which was cool. But then it's just like, okay, I have this ship. Now what do I do with it? Not much. It's like there could be a cool game there if, like, see, when I was thinking like Starfield was gonna be, I was thinking Starfield was gonna be basically like, you remember the game Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Yes.
I thought it was gonna be like that, but in space.
There's elements of that in No Man's Sky. I feel like we're just going to compare every space game to No Man's Sky, which started out terrible, but slowly but surely turned into actually pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm like, if Starfield could be more entertaining minute to minute, I think is the problem.
So
it's like, so you know that oh god, what did he say? It was like there's a rule of design in video gaming that's prevalent in The Witcher.
It's called
like
the primary gameplay loop.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's basically like from like between points of interest, there's only a certain amount of time. So like I think they said in The Witcher it was like 45 seconds. So if you go in any direction from, like, if you start at one point of interest and you go in any direction from there, it's only about 45 seconds before you see something of interest, something else to do.
So,
and it's like Starfield is basically just like, okay, you go from any point of interest, you can go for hours before you find anything worthwhile doing.
So there is for those of you who have been on the internet for a long time, you might know of a man by the name of Ben Croshaw. People might know him as Yahtzee. Yahtzee does weekly video game reviews. He's done a review every week, literally for like 16 years. But he also does like indie video games as well. He did an entire series on game design and talked about what are things called the primary gameplay loop, the secondary gameplay loop, and the tertiary gameplay loop, and how a lot of people good games will build themselves off of those loops. The idea being that the primary gameplay loop is what you do on a second to second basis, usually involving some kind of a combat system, some kind of a movement system. And that, like, the example was for Super Mario 64, Nintendo literally just worked on how Mario moved about in an empty room for like months until they finally were like, we like how he moves about. It feels like this is natural and fun for him to literally just walk across the room. And so and just doing that is enjoyable because they were able to figure out how to make that as fun as possible. That's the primary gameplay loop. What you're talking about is the secondary gameplay loop, what you do on a minute-to-minute basis. Usually this is like getting you towards some kind of objective or figuring out what would you, if I were to show you 60 seconds of a game, would you be able to figure out what the secondary gameplay loop is just by watching that 60 seconds? And that a lot of good games will figure out fun stuff to do with this. Resident Evil 4 and the remake, in my opinion, are great at this because the primary loop of get out gun, shoot thing is very fun, but then the secondary loop of several enemies come towards you, defend yourself from them is also very fun. The big issue that a lot of people have is the tertiary loop, what you do on an hour-to-hour basis, usually some sort of long-term goal. That a lot of companies will focus on tertiary loops, on how to get people to stick within their game for hours and hours on end, but then when it comes to primary and secondary, I don't know, move, shoot a thing, that's it, and then they don't really focus much more beyond that. And so the primary loop just becomes pushed to the side, which is really sucky because that's what makes the game fun. What you do every second, what you do every minute. And then a tertiary loop is usually like sort of a last... Like, really, you shouldn't focus on the tertiary loop because games like Rocket League or games like Fortnite don't necessarily care about the tertiary loop. It is, here are 50 people, shoot them, okay? And then the primary loop is fun enough. The Rocket League, team, go. And it focuses on the fast-paced, minute-to-minute action, which is why it keeps people engaged. But then games like Starfield start with the tertiary and don't really care about the primary or secondary, it sounds like.
Yeah. Like, so I would say, like, if Starfield had, like, a cooperative multiplayer mode, and then, say, the stuff inside your ship actually did stuff. Like, okay, so I have, like, a ship, and it has a cockpit. Okay, and you can fly the ship from the cockpit. But it also has a battle stations, but you don't really do anything with your battle station. So if you had like other friends, they could like co-op play, and like they could be in your battle station while you're piloting the ship, and then somebody could be manning a gun, and then you get into a fight with like another ship. Like it's not even like it's not even like multiplayer ships. Like, you know, it'd still be like the computer or whatever. But then you could get into a fight with like a fleet of ships, and then you could all be like yelling back and forth. Hey, here's they're coming from this. Like, I'm in the battle station, and I'm like using the battle station computer to target different enemies, and then the dudes in the gunner's chairs are using. You know, that would be cool. But no, it's just like we have all this stuff that we could use in a unique way like that, but it's almost like they ran out of time.
That sounds like a Star Trek game because that's basically how Star Trek operates. You've got the captain in the front going, "Oh, looks like we found a ship, Mr. Sean, put it up on screen." And then you do that, and it's like, "Uh-oh, they're charging their weapons. Mr. Sean, activate shields." And then fire.
There's actually like a Star Trek VR game that's exactly that.
Yeah, I believe it's
like
Bridge Commander.
Bridge Commander.
I think Bridge Commander. Yes.
But yeah, like if they had incorporated that into say Starfield, then that would have been awesome.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, Starfield was postponed because Microsoft got a hold of Bethesda and they're watching this and they're going, Bethesda, this game is riddled with bugs. You're going to have to fix the bugs, but they didn't really fix what makes the game fun, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's like they ran out of time. It's like, it's almost as if, like, because they put this stuff in the game. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I said, the ship has like when you're putting the ship together, it has like different substations that you could like put inside the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, oh, here's a battle station, or here's a computer core, and it's like, what do those things do? Nothing. It's,
There's a great game that frustrates me to no end called FTL. And a lot of people might know what FTL is. In FTL, you get to do the exact thing that you're talking about. You get to
yeah,
have multiple people at different stations, and you can assign them to stations to help bolster stuff. Um, my biggest issue with FTL is that the whole game is a roguelike. And so you don't
yeah,
really get and an entire session could take an hour basically, or an entire session could take 5 minutes. But getting to the end is such an arduous task because the final boss is just obscenely difficult, where you fight them and then you go to the second stage of fighting them, and then you go to the third stage of fighting them, and each time they just get stronger and stronger. And but FTL, you get to actually like have a ship, you have the oxygen bay, you have the medical bay, you have
yeah.
the shield bay, you have the torpedoes bay, you have the captain's bay. Like, you get to assign people to the ship, but it's just you don't really make long-term progress. You just sort of unlock new things to try this one, because all you do in FTL is there's a rebel fleet coming to kill you. You have to get to your base and warn them, hey, there's a rebel fleet coming, we should stop them before they wipe out the entire sector. But that's the entire game. And God, I wish there was more to it than that. Or I
Yeah.
wish it wasn't a roguelike, because that game annoys the crap out of me. I've
Oh,
played
yeah,
it a
like
ton, but God, it
if
annoys
they
me.
like if they shoved the system like that into Starfield, and then threw you at like, say like in Black Flag, how they have like random ships come up, and then you can like because like they do have this in Starfield where like random ships will come up and you can like board them and take their cargo or whatever, or like they'll have like legendary ships come up and stuff like that. So it's like they have that there, but it's just like, what's fun? It's not even fun. It's no fun. It's no fun.
It's no fun. I would still like to try it someday, but I don't like. For me, I can't
I
just.
would. I feel like. I feel like if with time, if they actually give it time,
Mm-hmm.
they might make something dope out of it. And then of course modders, but it's just like I'm so tired of modders saving Bethesda's ass.
Yeah, that's the big problem with a lot of these open world games, is that they keep expecting the community to build the game for them, and it's like, not everything can be Minecraft, guys. Like, Minecraft was kind of a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Not everything can be Skyrim. It's like a game shouldn't be saved by modding. A game should be like bolstered by modding. But then again,
Right.
you get the opposite side of the coin, where Nintendo goes, if you mod our game, we will find you, we will hunt you down, and we will destroy you. which is the opposite of that coin. You shouldn't discourage modders
Like
either.
Nintendo modders, read my lips.
You will... It's just like... Because, yeah, Bethesda relies, I feel like, almost too heavily on modders to make their games better, whereas Nintendo is just like, we will find modders, we will break them, and we will make it hurt. And it's just like, you can't do that either! Those are too
We will
extreme.
not have modder relations with our Nintendo games. Miss Lewinsky.
Swear to God. Oh, that's an old reference. Like, that's
That's gonna go
late.
over the younger kids' heads.
There are fully grown adults who wouldn't get that reference. God. Oh,
These gray hairs didn't come from nothing.
they need that guy that replaced every sound in Oblivion with the Tim Allen Home Improvement grunt. So the guy who made Seinfeld Doom. Seinfeld, like,
Dude,
I've
improvement.
I've seen that mod. There was a mod that someone made once with it's an entire Doom level where every single texture is Tim Allen. Like every single texture stretched over the floor is Tim Allen. The monsters are Tim Allen. Your gun is Tim Allen. The bullets are Tim Allen. And every single sound effect is it's so silly. It's so much fun. By the way, Doom has been around for over 30 years now, and people are still modding it and still adding new stuff to it just because the game is just that, like, universal for some reason.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk actually has a version of Doom in it.
I did hear about that. It was like
there's like an arcade game that you can play inside the game of Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially just Doom.
Because if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the other id games you can do that. In like Doom 2016, there's a Wolfenstein level, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, where you just go to Wolfenstein, the original Wolfenstein, the 2D crappy Wolfenstein, except you're the modern day Doom guy, and then you go through it, and then you kill Hitler, and then you just go back to the game, and it's like, oh, that was weird. Because that's what you did in Wolfenstein. That's exactly what you did in Wolfenstein.
Just kill stuff indiscriminately.
Mm-hmm.
That's the American way. Indiscriminate death.
I thought the American way was make everything more efficient, despite whether or not it needs to be more efficient. Like America,
yes, including indiscriminate death. We make our guns more efficient, despite the fact that we don't need them to be more efficient.
No,
we don't really need to kill 50 things in the span of 60 seconds. But we will, dang it. Because this is America. This is America.
This is America. We have a right to arm bears. Or something along those lines.
It's like, did you not see Cocaine Bear?
That
wouldn't have happened if that bear had guns.
God, I can't... So, Cocaine Bear, by the way, is a real story, kind of. Like, yeah, so... I believe the real story goes, someone found a bear in a forest, and they found, like, a couple of dead bodies. And they were like, what happened? And they're like, and, you know, they do an autopsy and whatnot, and they're like, oh, this bear had cocaine in its system. And apparently what happened is the bear found the cocaine, went nuts, killed a couple of people, and had a heart attack. But that's it. That's the whole story.
Yes.
And then the movie takes that...
blows it way out of proportion
and goes much, much farther.
Basically just turns that story into Inglourious Bastards, but with a bear.
Oh, man. That's so crazy. And you can see this is why I'm much better with like short form content, because I'm starting to run out of energy. Because I'm not great at constantly doing live streaming stuff, but regardless.
Now I'm thinking about Home Improvement.
I haven't watched that. Like I saw a few episodes back in the day, but I don't remember if that show's good or not. Like there was a bunch of sitcoms in the 90s that just happened. That were just like Seinfeld was popular.
Were these good? Were these good? I don't know. Now I'm thinking about so I'm thinking the whole premise of Home Improvement is that Tim Allen is a host of a tool show.
Yes,
was that right? Okay,
he's the host he's the host of a TV show, which is it is a home improvement show. Yeah. That's the name.
With the dude that looks like Bob Vila, but is not Bob Vila.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, Pamela Anderson was on the show for a few seasons as his, like, assistant.
Right, she was his assistant, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she got changed to somebody else.
Well, I think they had a rotating cast of assistants.
Yeah. And then, okay, so my thing was that the main thing that I could remember about Home Improvement was that every time he and his wife would get into a fight, he'd go out into the backyard and talk to the dude behind the fence, and you never
Yes.
saw the dude's face, right? So I'm thinking to myself, like, that dude's a crappy husband.
Yeah, like exactly.
Like, it's like you can't solve any of your relationship problems without going to the backyard and talking to this dude. Like that dude, that's no MVP right there.
Hmm.
Like,
That was, I mean, say what
maybe
you
your
will.
wife should leave you and go be with that dude.
Yeah, say what you will about Seinfeld. The good thing about Seinfeld is that they never fell back on the trope of, like dopey husband nagging wife, because the people in Seinfeld were single the entire
Yeah.
series.
Or they never really fell back on the trope that everything's okay by the end. Sometimes crap was just effed up.
Yeah, no, that
Like,
happened a lot in
not in
Seinfeld.
this, like, yeah, but I'm like, in what I mean is, like, not everything is like, oh, everything's great in the end. Sometimes stuff was just bad and it was just okay that everything was bad.
Yeah.
Because that was more realistic.
Oh dear
It's like, yeah,
God.
bad stuff happens and sometimes it's just okay. It's just,
Read the latest Mr. Scully comment.
wish there was a Doom mod that has all the sound effects as moaning and the end screen is code scene.
Dear God. See, that. Okay. As someone who has been around for the early years of the internet, stuff like that happened. Like, you would find a mod for Doom, or you would find a mod for some game that was literally a troll mod, where you would load it up and it would do a bunch of, like, troll thing like Mr. Scully described, and then at the very end there would be some sort of a jump scare thing. Like, I mean, granted, maybe not goatsy, but like maybe something along those lines, where it would be just like a bunch of troll stuff, and then something would jump out to try and shock you. Um, I think it went by a very specific name that I can't remember, but it was games or mods of games that was deliberately trying to shock you and either scare you or just gross you out. Like, literally, that was the whole point, and people just sent them out like that. There was literally, like, I remember Yahtzee doing a joke about this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it exists, that there's, like, a Doom mod where all of the monsters are, like, women in bikinis, and the rocket launcher is
Big old penis.
a knob, yes. And it shoots out, you know exactly what it shoots out. I wouldn't be surprised, because that's the kind of stuff that you would see in the early years of the internet, that people would just put dumb stuff like that out there. Like, that probably exists already, exactly what Mr. Scully
The
described.
death animations would probably just be them shaking their tits.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, Brutal Doom is a good example of, like,
Project.
I actually have, I think I have Brutal Doom and Z Doom, which are just like modifications of the original Doom to either make them more violent or just a lot easier to control. Because if you've ever played Doom on a modern console or a modern computer, it's terrible. Like, the resolution is like 16 pixels across the entire screen,
And
and
it was
you
meant to be like played on screens probably no bigger than the screen you're probably looking at that has my face on it.
yeah, like literally the screen.
That's how big computer screens used to be.
There you Here's a Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch. This is how big computer screens used to be, except it was a big giant square. So it looked like that. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Because widescreen is a more modern thing.
God, we thought that was the pinnacle of technology.
I like literally being able to see stuff like Doom or Half-Life or like Zelda Ocarina of Time. You were just like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is literally like I am just an avatar walking through a world that blew our freaking minds. The full 3D experience was something else entirely. It's fascinating.
Look at Hyrule Field. Oh my God. So open.
It's weird.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird to
double
think.
rainbow all across the sky. So intense.
It's weird to think that when I was like 6 or 7, Doom scared me, like legitimately scared the crap out of me. And I look at it now and I'm like, this looks so cheesy, so silly. And yet, back then, just seeing a giant pink thing run towards the camera and then just do this. Terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
But all it's doing is just like it's a 2D sprite that gets close to you and then makes a chomping noise and then your health goes down and that scared the crap out of you and you're like, ah. And nowadays...
People used to think Lara Croft was hot.
Okay, let me go on a quick rant about Lara Croft real quick. I've played some of the Tomb Raider games. It is my opinion there is
You're
not
talking about the old ones or the new one?
Yes.
Okay.
I am of the opinion that there is not a single good Tomb Raider game. None of them are fun. That literally the old ones only existed for 2 reasons, and the new ones are just a generic sandbox game. Like, not even sandbox, just a generic action game. That none of them are actually fun to play. Like, the only game that had any semblance of, like, imagination was the original Tomb Raider, because you, like, go into an alien ship at one point, you fight a T-Rex, but then all the other games are just generic action games that are not actually fun to play, and there's only 2 reasons why they only ever sold. And it's just like, there has to be... This is a $1 billion... Like, they have made over $1 billion off these games. There's, like, 15 of them. There has to be one that's good, right? But every one I've played just kind of sucks. Like, every single one kind of sucks. And
It's a weird franchise.
I'm astonished by it. I'm just like, wow.
It's a solid premise, and it's just like... As like a movie or a TV series, Tomb Raider is cool, right? But like as a video game, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah, it is. That's the problem with Tomb Raider, is that it's just kind of boring. Like, I remember the original game...
Even the new ones is kind of like...
Yeah. I remember the original game, Lara Croft had infinite ammo for her pistol, so you could literally, like, there's an enemy over there, and so she's just like, bang, 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 bang. And then you're running around, and the enemy's health is slowly going down. Then eventually it hits 0, and you're like, okay, let's move on to the next one. Bang, 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 bang.
I feel like they have that. I feel like they have that now.
Yeah, but the newer games have the action game problem of, like, here's a list of chores for you to do, and if you do them, then you did them. Good job. It's just like
do them, and then she'll tell you that you did them.
Yeah.
Good job, you.
But not only that, the new games have this weird storyline, like... We don't... It's supposed to be
That's the thing that's weirded me out about the new ones. It's like the storyline doesn't make any daggone sense.
No, it doesn't. But then the storyline for the originals had, like, weird time travel shenanigans that never made sense. And then there was, like, some sort of a Sphinx monster that was, like, controlling Laura's mom or something. I don't know. The original games don't make sense. The new games don't make sense. None of them are
Sphinx
good.
Monster. I'm controlling your mama.
None of them are good. I don't understand, like... I want to think there's more to... Yeah, there has to be something more to those games other than the obvious, but maybe there isn't. Maybe literally they sold $1 billion worth of games just because of...
Lara Croft boobs?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody used to think she was hot because that's all we had back then.
Also, when I saw your Valve video, I seriously thought you were Gabe Newell. That's my dad. My dad looks a lot like Gabe. Especially because Gabe now has a white beard, and my dad has a white beard. Like, it's almost a 1-to-1.
That's funny. You thought that was Ian. That's hilarious. Ian, you're your dad.
I mean, I am. Like, literally, my wife has said before, you are like a clone of your father. And I'm like, kinda.
Every day, you become more and more like your father.
Although I don't have a white beard. In fact, my beard is like weirdly part blonde, part brown, kinda. Because like I'm a
Just
natural,
you,
yeah, I'm a natural
just you wait.
blonde. But yeah,
Just you wait. Eventually, you'll get this whole mess going on.
oh yeah, I see it. It'll happen. I know it'll happen.
Got my
It
Reed
was
Richards action going on over here.
yeah, like I have vague memories of when my dad was like 35. Like I would have been a wee little lad at that point, but I have vague memories of when my dad was that age, and this was around the time that he started to go gray. It'll happen. It will. And I accept it. It is what's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to just for men this. I'm not going to like try and color it
Thought
or
about
something.
that.
No.
I've thought about it, but
I think you pull
I
off
feel
the
like it would
gray.
be too much. I feel like it would be too much work.
Yeah, I think you pull off the gray well. I think it works. Like it.
Well, as long as it stays here,
Mhm.
I'm okay with it. If it comes too much over here, then I'm gonna have to do something about it.
Yarrow says hello. While I can, I want to say something. And okay, you've said something. Good job.
Something.
1, 2, and
Waiting.
4.
This is what you've been waiting for.
1, 2,
Say
and
1,
4.
2, and 4. Wait, what?
Oh!
What's happening?
I don't know. Yashin said many years ago I followed the work you did and very much wanted one day to follow making my own content. Hey, good.
Sweet.
I'm always happy to inspire people. Like if people watch me and they're like I want to do stuff like that, awesome. That's fantastic. I wish you the best of luck because this is not easy to do, and I hope great success comes to you. So good luck. Good luck with you.
Yeah, just do the thing though.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait till you have the right equipment or any of that nonsense.
No, yeah,
'Cause
like
then you'll just be a whole bunch of money in the hole.
yeah. Look at this. This is a toner microphone. It's about like the lowest quality microphone you can get, and I think it's working fine. It seems to be doing just fine. Literally, like the best thing to make content with nowadays, and it's weird for me to say this, your phone. Like the cameras on phones have surpassed film quality, have surpassed like regular video camera quality. Like you can make some really good stuff with just a phone nowadays.
Yeah, phones are awesome.
Yeah. Yashin said, I found out the game WoW was no longer a thing. I wanted to try something of the sort, but no time or room for the project. Like Sean said, you just got to try it. You got to see if YouTube and the internet responds well to your stuff. I can tell you that sometimes it doesn't quite work, but you gotta go out and try it yourself, and it's pretty damn rewarding sometimes. It really is.
Don't do it don't do it for other people though. Don't do it because you're trying to get other people to watch you or whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it because it's what you want to do.
Yeah, Yarrow, thank you so much. That's some really nice things for you to say. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's for me like during the brief block in which Gaming Wildlife fell apart and I started Geeks Welcome was about 4 years where I didn't do YouTube content. I just had regular day jobs, and also it was the middle of the pandemic and stuff was weird in the middle of the pandemic. But I literally always found myself going, God, I want to go back and do YouTube again. God, I want to find a brand or a name to come back and do more YouTube stuff with. And I always knew that I wanted to come back here because I like the freedom that this channel gives me. I like the freedom that YouTube content gives me. I like I said earlier, the 5 to 10 minute videos are that's the point where I can be most creative, and so yeah. Oh, Yarrow, they said they would like to work with us. Sure, absolutely. We have you can get in contact with us via on our YouTube page. I don't always give this out publicly because I don't want random people emailing us, but our email address is on the About page if you would like to get in contact.
Hey, are you the homie that does the How to Be Adventurer thing?
I do not. I don't know.
Is like Yarrow Shen? Are you the guy who does the How to Be an Adventurer videos? Dude, I watch that stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I watch your videos all the time, man. You're hilarious, bro. You do good work.
That's great, man. Awesome. Cool. I didn't know. But yeah.
Yeah. I was like thinking to myself. I'm like, yo, that name sounds so familiar. I'm like, why do I recognize this name?
But yeah, Yarrow, thank you. Thank you for the kind comments. This is really, really wonderful. And yeah, Professor Bond. Imposter syndrome is gonna hit you. It just is. Like literally, I've had it. I've had it before because I went to film school with a lot of people who are honestly much more skilled than I am when it comes to certain video stuff. But in general, I want to do this. That should be your driving force, is that you want to do this. And Yarrow, I'm glad you were able to get some stuff done. Professor Bond, just start making content and see if people like it, see if you like it. And yeah, it's like when this is rewarding, there's nothing quite like it. There's nothing quite like the feeling of like making a video and just looking at it and going, this was really good. I really liked what I did. Like the Atari video that we did a couple of months ago, I love that video. I love what me and Jim did. I love the like history of Atari that we put together. The help that we got from Reckless Sarge as well. Sarge had been recommending it for like years and years on Gaming Wildlife, and then we were finally able to get it together, and when it came together, I'm just like, this is really good. I like this a lot. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And yeah, just really honestly, truly,
We loved it.
Yeah.
We had a ball, and nobody else liked it.
No, that's not true. It got over 1,000 views. People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, it's like, but see that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even at first it wasn't like doing anything, but it took like a minute for it to actually start picking up. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is basically that it's just like you can't. If we were doing it just for the views or whatever, we like probably would have like stopped doing this forever ago. But like we were doing it because it's what made. We dug it. This is what we did. This is fun. This is our thing. It's like we're not doing this to get famous. If we do, then yeah, that'd be awesome. But like we said, we wish we could do this full time. If we do get to that level one day, then that'd be awesome. We're not gonna. But
I ultimately
we do this because it's what we love to do.
Yeah, there's a reason why I came back to do YouTube again, because I had kind of gone through this back and forth of, should I come back? Is it even worth it to come back? But eventually I was just like, no, you know what? I like doing this. I like spending my free time doing video editing. I like spending my free time writing stuff and making funny videos. This is just something I thoroughly enjoy. I'm gonna do this again. And so I'm super happy to be a part of this, to have like what I think our numbers are, like 1,320 subscribers. I'm super happy to have that many people, to have over 100,000 views on the whole channel. It's just like, I'm like, this feels right for me. Like, and to go back to who I was talking about earlier, Markiplier, for example, did a live stream recently and talked about like, because he's doing a big movie now, and he's like, I still want to come back and do YouTube videos. I've seen so many people who get stressed out and unhappy with making YouTube videos, and it's like, why? This is great. Why would you be so unhappy with doing stuff like this? Why would you do something that makes you sad? And it's just like, this is very rewarding, not just for like people coming in and going, great video, but it's also just rewarding for you. I love this. I love to be able to, this is the medium where I find I'm most creative, is with a video camera, a microphone, and me just being like, here's my creativity. And it's just, this feels right for me. I just love this.
I love playing a dick online.
It's fun. And of course I love
being Rich Worthington, man.
Yeah. And of course we've got Jim here. We've got Jim here in the comments saying, like, some of the most fun videos we had in Gaming Wildlife Days were doing stupid little skits that we threw together and had fun with our friends. And it's just like, Jim is... I love working with Jim. I just love Jim in general. I think Jim is one of the coolest guys.
Jim
But,
is so cool.
yeah.
And he's amazing. And he's very handsome, ladies.
Yes, he is. And
He's so handsome.
He's very single, ladies.
Yeah, he's very single. And he will put a ring on it.
But yeah, it is like very rewarding to be able to do this and to be able to be a part of this, and it's I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to do this. I think we might start to sort of end the stream soon because I feel like I've like kind of tapped a lot of my energy for today. Because I got off a long shift, and I have because we still need to maintain day jobs here. I have a 12-hour shift tomorrow between 2 different jobs.
I'm off, thank God, but that's because yesterday I worked. What was it? What is? I guess that's 10-hour shift.
Ugh.
I worked from 8 in the morning to probably 7 o'clock. So that's what, 11 hours? Yeah, and then I didn't get home until 8 at night, like 8:30 that night, and then I had to go back and go to work today at 8 o'clock in the morning again.
But yeah, for those of you
super tired.
But yes, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning for the announcement, there will be 2 new Honest videos posted October 28th. One will be on this channel, and the other will be on the person I'm collaborating with. Her name is Fiora the Tank Girl. And they will be if YouTubers were completely honest, and if streamers were completely honest. Talking about sort of the behind the scenes and being like, it's hard to do this, and cracking jokes and stuff. And then sometime in November, probably towards the end of November, will be WotC. I've got the script. It's ready to go.
Yeah. And then we got to get her on one of these.
Yeah, absolutely. Day.
Especially when we get the whole group together.
Because
I feel like that would be fun.
She does live streaming on a regular basis, so most of the time she'll on her Twitch channel, she'll live stream from early in the morning until midday. So that's a lot of what she does is everyday streaming. How do you guys do that and keep up with videos while still having time for family and yourself?
It's hard.
Yeah. For me personally, sometimes I will just kind of take a week off. You might notice sometimes that we don't post a video during the week. That's probably because I took a few mental health days to sort of reorganize myself and then be like, okay, I've fallen behind on videos, so let's post a couple of YouTube shorts. And then I'll go back to doing some scripts because I've got footage for about 4 or 5 videos on my computer, as well as the next completely honest video on there as well. It's just sometimes you got to take a couple of days for you to sort of relax and stuff, to just sort of be I have been pushing myself too far. I need a day where all I do is play Pokemon Legends Arceus for several hours, or I just need to take a mental health day where I watch an entire season of Taskmaster, or I need to catch up on the latest Loki, or just, I don't know, sit back and stare off into space for a few hours just to sort of mentally recharge.
As far as relationships go, though, I think a big part of the thing is that you gotta find somebody who is okay with you being you, you being an independent person from them. Because if you get involved in relationships with somebody who's very, I don't want to use the word clingy, I guess, but it's codependent on you or whatever, I suppose. It's then yeah, I could see what you're talking about. Bond is it's really hard, but if you have a good relationship with somebody who's going to let you be you, then they're going to give you the time to be able to find time and make time rather
Yeah.
to do the things that you love and the things that make you happy, and they're going to want you to do that.
Yeah. Like, one of the many reasons why I married my wife is that we're able to do a parallel play pretty well, where I can be in the office and doing stuff, and she can be in another room, like, watching a show, or, like, I'm guessing right now, this very moment, my wife is probably playing Tears of the Kingdom on her Switch. Which is great. Either that or she's watching a show on like Netflix or Amazon or something, because we've been doing this live stream. And you need to be able to find someone, like Sean said, just let you be you. She's like, my wife was
That's
my
just good.
yeah.
That's just good advice in general.
Yeah, my wife was my biggest supporter of me, like, going back and doing YouTube. She even said it, like, when I started up Geeks Welcome and started doing YouTube stuff again, she's just like, I noticed there was a change in your demeanor. You all of a sudden got a lot, like, peppier, a lot happier, a lot more positive and stuff. And I'm like, and I like, granted, I don't really notice that because I am my own person, but she was just like, yeah, you got a lot more positive when you started doing this again. And I'm like, oh, it's nice. It's nice to hear you say that. And yeah, you just ultimately, like, as much as I love doing YouTube, it is not my full-time job yet. I would like to make this a full-time job someday, but at the moment, I need to be willing to do jobs that make me money, but also be willing to just put in my free time to edit a video. The good thing is that I've been doing video editing for over 2 decades. I learned in middle school. Literally, the very first time I learned to do video editing was with VHS tapes and 2 VCRs plugged into each other, where you press play on one and press record on another, so that the raw footage plays, and then you record the raw footage and then pause, and then have to rewind. Like, I learned with VHS tapes. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
That's how I first was introduced to, like, oh, you can do this sort of thing. And then, like, the next year, I got introduced to iMovie, which would have been, like, 2000 or something. And I'm like, oh, this is much better.
Yeah, we didn't get to touch computer editing until
High
what
school.
was that? 2003, 2004.
Yep, with Adobe Premiere 6.5, not
We were
Pro.
using-
This
Yeah,
was
I
the
remember-
version before Pro.
Yeah, and we were using the cameras that still had the mini tapes,
Oh yeah,
and then we would connect them to the computer with the FireWire.
oh
Remember FireWire?
Yes, I do remember FireWire. That, like, literally, I've been doing this for the last 20 years, and I remember in high school, like, learning about video editing and going, can I do this for a living? Because this is pretty great. And as it turns out, yeah. Oh,
And
God.
Mr. West was like, yeah, sure.
I liked Mr. West. He was. I contacted him on Facebook, and he was just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's
Is
super
he
friendly.
retired yet?
I don't think so. I think he's teaching up in Minnesota. I might be incorrect about that.
Dude, he should be retired by now. This is not right.
I mean, like,
America sucks.
I mean, it does, but if you like what you do, and Mr.
Yeah, if he's happy, as long as he's happy.
But yeah. But yes, I think we're probably going to wrap things up. So, ladies and gentlemen, like, really thank you all for joining us today, and thank you all for being a part of this channel. This is so wonderful. I'm looking forward to... Social Blade seems to think that next year we're going to hit 1 million views, which I would be very happy with. That would be awesome. That would be great. But yeah, within the next week and a half, you're going to see the YouTubers Honest and Streamers Honest videos on my channel and Fiara's channel. And then in November, you're going to see part 1 and part 2 of If Wizards of the Coast Were Completely Honest with Us. Because, yeah, there's enough stuff to talk about 2 episodes there.
Video that's been like a year in the making, almost.
Almost a year in the making. Literally,
We've been working on this
since December.
It's the beginning of 2023.
It was around the time
So,
that.
since-
Oh yeah.
around time, what was doing to that originally?
It was Magic 30 was when all this started for me on the Magic side, and then they started doing all of the changes with Dungeons and Dragons to completely change the OGL. Was that? So yeah, it was like
I forget when like it's been so long. I forget when that even was.
But yeah, oh yeah, Jim.
OGL.
Jim says we got to do something special for the anniversary because yes, we will be arriving at the 2 year mark of Geeks Welcome in at the beginning of March. So we gotta figure out something. I have an idea for
My birthday, Geeks Welcome's birthday.
I have an idea for an April Fool's Day episode. So I think that one's gonna be fun.
April.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you all, everyone. We're going to be ending the stream, but you all have a wonderful day. You are wonderful people. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you within the next week with Geeks Welcome.
If not sooner. Bye.
If not sooner. Well, I might post a couple of YouTube shorts just because I like doing those. Those are fun, especially if I'm playing games. But yes,
I might stream some tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I will give you our stream code then. You can stream all you want.
Yeah.
Bye,
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye from the YouTube plaque that I have. Bye.